Hello, my name is Cheryl Wilson and I'm an abstract artist, and if you're just new to my channel, I share all sorts of abstract type art. Sometimes I do some chats, but most of the time I paint or show a process within my art journey. If you're returning, again, thank you so much for always coming back and supporting me, and it's just enjoyable to get to know a lot of you. I thought it'd be fun to share this particular painting. It's another one that I've had in my grouping of paintings. In fact, it's one I have actually kept for myself, but it's a sculpture, and it's a very simple painting to create, although there's so many things that can be done with this. I can see this done very largely. This is a 12 by 16. I can see this done with multiple, in fact, I've done it with multiple of these sculpture type shreds, but I'm calling this a sculpture because it is a 3D, and as you see how we create it, it can be done even on such a larger scale than what I've done it. So we'll get started with the video, but I wanted to share this with you and let you know what we're going to be doing. And I'd love to know if you think you may want to give this a try. There's several other videos that I've done that are modern style videos that would look really good with this one. So without further ado, let's roll on into this video. And if you wouldn't mind, do the thing, you know, the subscribe, like button, and the bell. So I start this video already with these shards of paper that I have just sent through a shredder, and then I use the Rust-Oleum metallic gold spray paint. And it depends on how much of a project that you're going to take on. That's how much of the shreds you need. And so you can do an entire basket full of shredded paper from your shredder. And then I just take a spatula and I just use that board. And you have to do this in a well-ventilated area. I have a fan in a larger room. But I just spray paint the gold onto the shredded shards of paper, and I try to get everything covered. I take a spatula and I just flip them like little pancakes until new white areas show, and then I just kind of like a rinse and repeat until I get everything that I want to have gold or whatever color you're going to use. There is an opportunity later on where I can use some gold paint on some little pieces that may not have gotten covered. So no worries if you don't get everything covered. There is another opportunity to do that. But I just flip and flip and flip until I get a chance to get them all covered. Now this is just a little board. I think it's like a 4 by 8, and I've covered it with black. And there's a couple ways that I add these gold little shards. And I use the molding paste and a palette knife. And this is the first layer of my structure, my sculpture. So I put the modeling paste down on the black already covered little painting. Now, if it does dry clear, but if for some reason it dries and you don't like it, you can always repaint black. Then I take just handfuls of the sharded gold paper and just lay them on top and do a little pressing of some of them to see how much I can get pressed. But the main thing is I want this as a sculpture to be, you know, sticking up, so I don't want too much. So I just keep laying them, laying, and fill up the whole thing as much as I want. Now I've had this for about 4 years, and it's still as beautiful as it was the first time I did it here. So this will stay beautiful, and you know, it doesn't even get dust on it. The other thing is clear tar gel. Now I found, this is from Golden, that this is like the best thing I could use. Clear tar gel will dry hard, so it's like really liquidy. So I just take that on the spatula and drip that down, and it will start to drip in between the layers. There's multiple things I did here. So every one of these little things that I did helped glue down these little pieces of paper. Again, any of that glue that shows up in the end, you can paint it black, and because of the type of sculpture this is, it just adds to it. So I keep just dripping that tar gel, and you can already see some of it start to drip down through the paper and go to the bottom of the stack. And here I am just kind of helping it, mixing it in. It's almost like a little coleslaw salad where you're mixing your ingredients together. And so at this point, I know not all of them are mixed in. So I grab an Elmer's spray adhesive, and it dries clear. And then I go in and I spray. Now, this took some of the shine away, so you'll see that later on I added some more shine back in. This dulled it a little bit. But this is the real sticky part. That's why I have underneath it a piece of wax paper. So now I've got 3 types of adhesive that I've got going on there. So I'm adding, since it's very sticky on the top, and I noticed that it kind of dulled a little bit, I'm going through and adding some more of the gold little sculpture sheets, shredded pieces on top. And I know I'm going to have to let this dry. So this is dried overnight, so I'm going to add some more soft gel gloss to this. So it kind of did a little dullness, so I'm just adding the soft gel again. This is just to any additional pieces of those gold papers that did not stick down. I don't want to go back in with more of the other mediums that I used, because a lot of it is in there really tightly. So I just grabbed the that gel and anything that looks loose, and I'm making sure that it's still kind of like fluffy, and there's some pieces sticking up that's going to keep it fun. And but this really worked well, using this soft gel to go in and just adhere any of the last pieces that may not have adhered with the other mediums that I used. So you can see that they are stuck on there. So all those that I did really made a difference. So I'm going in with some more of the gold spray, and I'm covering up the black as much as I can with pieces of like wax paper. And remember when I said it got kind of dull? So this is going to really bring that gold back out. So when I cover up the black, and you can still go in with the black, but it just brought all the color right back out again. So I slide that around, covering up the black, even though it gets a little bit sprayed, you can always cover over the black, but I'm making sure that I look down through and get all that beautiful gold, and it's I'm looking at the piece right here. I have it sitting beside me, and it's still beautifully nice sprayed gold. So this takes a little bit of work, but this was a fun project, a lot of fun to do. So I let that dry, and I've bumped a couple pieces of the paper. They may have come loose from underneath the stack, even though they look like they were all glued down. So I'm just, I fix a little bit of those pieces. And while I'm in there, I'm taking my black, and I use black gesso, and I just went in and covered up any of the spray gold that may have gotten onto the black canvas underneath. And you can see even from there how beautiful this sculpture looks. And you could do several of those in a row and put them on a canvas. If you have a lot of those shredded papers, you could do this on a great big piece, put it behind a couch or in an entryway. It's just a beautiful sculpture. You could do, spray paint the little pieces of paper with golds and silvers. So there's that soft gel. I'm going in and any of the pieces that look like they may have fallen off, I'm just putting them back in. What happened was some of them were tucked underneath other pieces, and when I went in with the spray and was bumping around, I realized that they hadn't gotten totally adhered. There were just a couple. So it didn't take me long to go in and fix them. I mean, you could have saved a couple to the side to stick to the top in a manner that you may have wanted, but I liked what I had done, and I liked the way it looked. Now I took this chroma copper metal paint, and I took a 12 by 16 canvas, and I wanted the background of this to be that bronze metallic looking, so that when I put this other sculpture on top, it looked just really sharp and modern. So I painted this whole thing, and those chroma paints are beautiful. I've used them. They come in different colors. I've used them a lot. So because of the fact that you could have kept this very smooth, but because of the fact that the way this sculpture was, I wanted something a little bit different than just a smooth painted background. So I added just a slight texture, and that was by rubbing my fingers around into the canvas. And I really liked the outlook, or the outcome that this gave the canvas. So I let that dry, and then I added the little piece on top. Now this right here, you're going to have to measure, and I mean, you can just, eyeball it, but what I did was I just took a measuring tape and measured the whole thing, and just decided, how many inches I wanted at the top, how many I wanted at the bottom and on the sides, so I could have this right in the middle. But if you had two of these, depending on, how many that you had, you would just measure and place them exactly where you want them. So this was small. It was pretty easy to eyeball it. So I used the soft gloss gel again. That's like a paste. I mean, it's a glue. So I lifted it up, and this, like I said, this has been on my wall for quite a while. So it has stayed glued up there. So this soft gel medium it's like a glue, and it sticks. So this little piece stayed on there. I have another one that has 4 small canvases with additional things on top that have stayed. And so the canvas is a lot heavier than this one. So this is, I mean, you could use a glue, but I tend to use a lot of Golden products because I resell my paintings. The other glues are just as fine if you have other types of glues. So I really covered this so that every bit of that wood is covered in glue, so it'd be a really good adherence to that canvas. So I'm looking at it, I'm eyeballing it, and then I'm going to do another look at the measurement to make sure that I did a good job at putting it in the right spot. It's 12 inches, so the middle of that would be 6. So I'm just double checking. So since that's a canvas and the back is softer, I'm just gingerly pressing down on the top layer. There's a lot of glue there, a lot of the gel, but I'm holding the back firm so that I can get the stickiness to adhere. And once that is adhered and it started to dry, I can put some books underneath and really prop it up. So I hope you enjoyed this sculpture. It's a beautiful sculpture. It'll look beautiful in a room with other abstracts or even realism. And let me know in the comments below if you think you might like to try this, or if you have other ideas of building sculptures like this. I would love to hear them.